Hello there. So it seems we've got ourselves a little werewolf. Well, he looks like a werewolf. Look at that hair. Look at that face. He's a little werewolf. Aren't you? Yeah. Oh, look at that little fella. Got ourselves a little raccoon baby. He was out in the cold, in the rain, shrieking, calling for his mama. So I went out there. It sounded like a bird in the tree, but it wasn't a bird in the tree. It was him, this little guy. Yeah. Hi. So I picked him up. Didn't see the mother around. I looked around for her. But we took a look up on the roof. There's an eave up there that's really small. And we think he may have fallen out off the roof and down onto the front step where I found him. And he might have caught the tree on the way down because luckily he wasn't injured. Other possibility is that the mother moved him. Nonetheless, Mama was nowhere to be found. And we do have some regular coons that come around in our backyard. And I've been keeping an eye out for her. And I've been putting his blanket after he's been sleeping on it all night out in the front where the coons hang out, and hoping that she'll find his scent and come back and get him. I've been holding him up to them and letting them sniff, and they sniff about 2 or 3 feet away, and they don't come any closer. So I haven't been able to reunite him with his mama, and that was the goal. But it's not looking promising yet. So each day I go out front, try to get the mama to get him, get his scent out there. And I also have been bringing him out and letting them see him. So putting him on the ground for a little bit and hoping that the mama will come and sniff him and maybe adopt him back, because I'm not his mama. I'm not his mama. So anyway, nobody's claimed him. He's an orphan. He's officially an orphan werewolf because he's got the afro to prove it. Yes, he does. Right there. See? Sticking right up. And so I don't have any experience with baby raccoons, and it was on the weekend. This is just about maybe 4 or 5 days ago. I'm just going to put him in his blanket and keep him warm. There we go. He loves to climb up on my neck and play with my hair. And I have a crazy hair day because I have had no sleep in the last week since I got him. If you plan on getting a baby raccoon, do it by no choice at all. That you have no other choice. Do not get him as a pet. Because the best thing to do is reunite him with his mama. The mama has antibodies in her milk. She knows when to lick him, she knows when to feed him, and she knows how to nurture him better than a human can. But because he was not claimed, I had no alternative except to take him in. He was soaking wet and cold when I found him and shrieking. So I had to do something. I brought him in and toweled him off and got him warm. And the first thing I did was get a little tote set up with no lid on it, just high enough where he won't climb out. And got a plug-in heating pad and put that under the little fleece blankets, which you can get at Dollar Tree for $1. These little fleece blankets, baby blankets. Put a heating pad under there and put it on the low setting, and kept him on there with a couple of these blankets over him. And also, I cut up an old wool sock, so I put that around him to keep him warm, because wool is very warm. It's much warmer than most other materials. Much warmer than any acrylic, or cotton is much warmer. Cotton's very kind of cool, more for cool weather. So we live in a very warm climate most of the time, but we just had that rain that one day that I found him, and it was he was completely soaked. He is a lively little fella. He is a lively little fella. And he's just getting his claws coming in stronger than they were before. So yeah, you don't want a pet raccoon if you can help it. But they are cute, no doubt. They are so cute. So I'm going to show you what we did. Whoops. I'm going to show you what we did to help him survive. He's thriving now, but not when we found him. So, cute little fella. So what you can do is get yourself about 10 at least of these fleece blankets, because you will go through them like there's no tomorrow. And I wash them just about every day, and then give him a fresh one, so he's not sitting in his poo or pee. And he gets a fresh one, or two actually, every day, and anytime that it needs to be changed. And that's what he can sleep on, with his little wool sock that I cut in half. That way it's more of a blanket than a sock, because he wouldn't fit in a sock. So, okay, I'm going to show you the food we used. I got to get it out of the fridge. Okay, so the first thing was to do was get him some this lighting is going very dark now because of the sun hitting this. The sun. Okay, so I don't think puppy milk is the way to go for raccoons. Usually if you get a little animal, kitten milk is the best thing, because it has an enzyme in it that the others don't. I believe this is goat milk, possibly. Anyway, I got this. It's a Tailspring milk replacer for kittens. And it's made with goat milk. Okay, this lighting in here is, hi. The lighting is going crazy here. I don't know if you can see this, but what you do is you take this powder and you mix 1 part powder to 2 parts water. So we have well water, and I wouldn't suggest using tap water because it has a lot of possibly chlorine, lead. Well water has a lot of sulfur here and lime. So we're not going to use the well water, not going to use tap water to mix this formula. We're going to use bottled spring water or a gallon of distilled water, as long as it's bottled and purified. Don't want any chemicals in them other than the good stuff. So what we did was get these old yogurt cups, empty yogurt cups, and you get a yogurt cup. Okay, where are you going? Where are you going, little fuzzball? Huh? Where are you going? I know it's your dinner time. Yeah. Actually, I just fed him like a couple hours ago, so he's okay. And you get yourself a yogurt cup, like this size, it's an individual serving size, and fill up one with powder and one with two waters and one powder. And I'm going to show you what it looks like when you mix it up. If you don't have a lot of funds to take care of a baby like this, you know, the Dollar Tree has lots of containers, and you can use old jars. You don't have to spend all kinds of money except on that food. That was a lot. That was $21. But we did start out with the canned Tailspring milk replacement. We started out with a can of it for the first few days, and it was great. It was already pre-mixed, but there was only one left in the store, so we had to get the powder and mix it ourselves. And what we did here was get an old spaghetti jar that's cleaned. It's been through the dishwasher. There's no spaghetti in it, although he may prefer spaghetti when he's older. And here's an old spaghetti jar, a simple container, and you can use a mason jar, whatever you have. Ooh. Just make sure you do not use any containers that have been used previously for bleach or any other chemicals or cleaners or anything else. Petroleums, make sure that bottle's clean and sterile, okay? Because you don't want his tummy to hurt. And so this is some of the mixture. This is some of the mixture that has been pre-mixed. And before feeding him, I'm gonna shake it up. Gonna shake it up really good because it settles in the bottom. Okay, it settles in the bottom, and you want to shake it up good. And before your first feeding, we didn't do this because we didn't know, but before your first feeding, it's most likely best to put the kitten formula in the fridge for four hours before the first feeding to let all the little granules absorb and thicken. And then you hopefully won't have any digestive problems. So with this formula, luckily we've had no problems with his digestion so far. So knock on wood. So far so good. He's climbing around all over me here. There he is. Yeah, there he is. He's a healthy little fella. Yeah. Hi, baby. Hi. 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 So, we named him Happy. My mom came up with that name, and so that's his name, Happy, because he's a happy little guy, isn't he? Look at that face. Look at that face. Yes. So cute. Okay, so I'm going to get the formula here and show you how I feed him. Okay, There he is. You also need to pick up some Pedialyte. Make sure you do not get the kind with iron in it or anything added. There's unflavored, which would be the best. If you can't find unflavored, the orange seems to work okay. But make sure you get the Pedialyte that doesn't have the extra iron in it. And you should be good to go. Okay, fella. He likes to climb up my neck and play with my hair. And he sucks on my neck. He's got an award this week for being the best sucker ever, because he likes to do that a lot. So get yourself a 5 ml syringe oral feeder, not with the needle, no needles. You just want to get an oral dispenser. Probably you can get them in the pharmacy. I got mine on Amazon, ordered it online a long time ago for my birds, and they work just fine. And I'm going to go get his bottle. So this is a little bottle. This is a little bottle we picked up at PetSense, and if you can get this one, it's great. It's just a little one. You can see how big it is. But if you notice, the nipple on it is much smaller than a lot of those big bottles with the huge nipples. I'm afraid that you don't want to put a big nipple down their throat and choke them or have them aspirate when they're feeding. So if you need to get a small narrow nipple like this, a tiny one, because these are tiny babies. This is not a 3-month-old baby. He's only probably maybe 10 days old, maybe a week or two. I'm not really sure. But when we found him, he had his eyes closed, absolutely closed. And day before yesterday, he opened his little eyes a bit. And I don't know how much he can see, but he's got his eyes open now, pretty much, just about all the way. Yeah. So I said, welcome to the world. Yeah, because you can see now, can't ya? All right. So we get the little bottle, and if you have a huge nipple, I mean, I would cut it shorter if it's too long, but make sure it's narrow. You don't want the baby bottle size yet. Maybe when he's older, but not quite right away. Not for a tiny little fellow like this. Look at the size. This is how big it is. Okay, it's just right for his mouth. And you don't want to put a big, huge nipple down his throat and choke him. And also, try not to lean him backwards when he's eating, because he could get it down his lungs, and you don't want that. You want him a little bit as forward as possible to feed him. Because I believe when they nurse, they're standing on their little legs, their back legs, and they will put their front paws up on the mama's belly, and they will kind of go up like this and angle up their heads just a little bit to reach her to feed. You know, they're not gonna feed on their backs completely, just a little bit of an angle. It's sort of important because you want to be careful. They're just babies. You don't want him to swallow it down his windpipe. You don't want him to get it up his nose, which he tends to jerk the nipple around a lot because he's feisty, and he gets a little up his nose sometimes. So right away, I get a little baby wipe and I wipe it off his nose so he won't re-inhale it by sniffing it back into his nose. So for the baby wipes, we got these at Dollar Tree. They're just get the unscented Get the unscented ones. They're nice and soft for his nose, and unlike a washcloth or paper towel, it won't scratch his nose because you're going to be doing a lot of feedings and a lot of wiping and a lot of snuggling. Okay, so now you got your formula and your Pedialyte. Got my Pedialyte here. Got my formula in here with the oral dispenser. This is what the oral dispenser looks like. Got a 5 ml oral dispenser. That's what you want. And notice the little head on it is a little bit small, so I have not been able to find how much to feed a baby raccoon anywhere online. I'm probably going to call the wildlife people on Monday, but because it was a weekend, I didn't have a chance to call them yet. And also, he's being fed every 3 hours. So as far as sleep, yeah, you won't get any at all ever again until he's probably 3 months old. So plan on that. Maybe a wildlife center would take him if you can't do the time, because it's going to take a lot of time. Yeah, baby. Little snugglets. He's a little snuggler. He sure is. Yeah. Okay. So now I'm going to get my syringe here, and I'm going to first take the lid off the bottle here. Okay. Doing a one-handed task here. Take the lid off. And you're going to want to heat up the milk before feeding him, because Mama has warm milk. She doesn't give him it cold. You want everything as close to, he would find in nature as you can find. So I'm going to heat it up for about 15 seconds. This amount in here is probably about 10 milliliters maybe. You don't want it too hot. Do a little bit at a time. If you have to do 5 seconds at a time, that's what you do. So I'm going to do 15 seconds. I have this down to an art now. Okay, so what I do first is I get the syringe, and I get a tiny bit of Pedialyte. Okay, maybe a half a mil. Like I said, I'm not a professional, and I don't know how much to give them. I heard that a tiny newborn gets 3 mils of milk to start, and he's a little bit bigger, so I've been going with 5 and allowing for spillage, so I make it 6 mils altogether. Going to do some more research Monday. I think I'm going to probably start giving them a little more. Weekly, you up the ante on the food. I don't know how much, but wildlife people can answer that for you. Okay, so what I did is I suck up a little bit of this Pedialyte. I'm going to give him about this much, half a mil, and then I squirt it in the bottle. Okay, this is tricky doing it with one hand. I squirt it in the bottle like that. All done? And then I get a paper towel because my hand is a mess. Got my paper towel. You want to have some paper towels for yourself and to put under his chin when you're feeding him. just to catch the drips so his blanket doesn't get soaked. Oh, whoa, where you going there, little fella? Okay, so now we got the Pedialyte in the bottle, and I've got my formula milk, kitten milk, kitty milk for this little werewolf baby. Yeah, he's just a little werewolf. Look at that little hair. Yeah, eat. I found him in the woods. All by himself. I think he's getting hungry. It's about his dinner time now. In about 3 hours. Some people say feed them every 2 hours. His belly seems to be pretty full for about 3. He sleeps 3 hours, and then I wake him up. Okay, so I'm going to just take this formula and I'm going to test it with my finger, and I don't like to give him anything hot, and I don't even give him really warm. I give him just barely lukewarm, which is just a tad over cool. So he's not getting cold, but he's not getting anything that could possibly burn him or be too hot. What you do not want to do is give him anything too hot at all. Never, ever. If you can put your finger in there and it's warm, barely warm, then that's good. But if you put it in there and it's still like kind of warm to hot, I wouldn't even use that. I would wait till it cools down a little bit, because you only get one chance at this. So now I'm going to take my cup here. Oh, he finally calmed down a little. Well, maybe not. He's a wily little thing. Okay, I'm going to take my oral dispenser and I'm going to fill it up all the way to the top. It's 5 mils. So here we go. That is the first lot, and then I squirt it in the bottle. Just easy peasy, just like that. And then I got this much. And now I'm going to go back and put another 2 or 3 in there. Well, 2.5. He's up to 2.5. I was doing 2 last few days, but I'm doing 2.5 now. That allows for spillage. He'll drip some, so he's really getting a good 5 to 6, at least. And I'm going to do that 2.5. 2.5. I'm going to add that to the bottle, just like that. Squeeze the rest in there. This is a messy job, you know. If you don't feel like you can take care of a baby coon, then don't do it. Find a animal rescue place that takes raccoons, because it's a lot of work. It's like having a newborn child, and you're gonna have to devote a lot of time to it, you know. And I'm not 20 anymore, so it's not easy to get up every 3 hours. Set the alarm on your phone and try not to sleep through. Just get up and feed him real quick and go back to bed, because you're lucky if you're going to get 1 out of 3 hours of sleep every night. During the late hours, you may be able to swing 4, but I wouldn't, recommend that if you can help it. But he's not gonna perish if you do 4 at night and then continue doing the 3 hours all day long, every hour. Every 3 hours on the hour. So you got 12 noon, 3 o'clock p.m., 6 p.m., and so on. Now, To feed him, I usually put him on my lap, and I, oh, there's going to be a lot of mess and accidents happening. Bottle went flying. I usually put him on my lap, and then I will let him reach up a little bit to the food, and I put a tissue under his chin so that he, can catch the drips. Oh, I think he wants to go to sleep now. Okay, baby, come on. Do you want your nummies? All right, it's feeding time. So I'm going to angle him down, not up, just a little bit of an angle. And he's very squirmy and climby, so I got to wrap him a couple of times sometimes to get him to still enough to feed him. Yeah, I know, little fella. He's making his little noises. So cute when they make that little purring noise. Come on, baby. There you go. Sometimes I have to help him hold his little face up and then give him the bottle. And the bottle, I'm gonna, hey baby, come on, get your nummies. See, he likes to go sideways and suck it off my finger, and I don't know where he came from, the moon. I don't know, but he's very climby. He's climby. Okay, baby, come on. All right, we gotta try to get him to feed here. I usually do it sitting down. It's easier. Come on, get your nimmies. Now, if you notice, he's not moving his lips right now. Sometimes if you rub his back, oh gosh, if you rub his back a little bit, it might help to get him to start suckling a little bit. There you go. There you go. Come on. Nummies. There you go. And I like to try to support his little hand with my fingers. Just a little bit, so he has something to hold on to. Come on, get your nummies. It's very hard to do when you're standing up. I'll tell you that. Much easier when you're sitting down, but I don't have a camera set up for that. Oh, I'm just using my little laptop computer. I don't have all kinds of video equipment yet in my life. We gotta do the best we can do with what we have. And this little guy is a handful. Yeah, is that good? There you go. There you go. He's eating now. He likes sometimes the sideways thing. All right, baby. Is that good? Yeah. Come on. Jammies. There you go. All right. All right. Okay. All right. If you have air conditioning going on, his little paws get cold fast. Well, they're babies, they need to be warm. If you have air conditioning going on, make sure that you keep him out of any drafts, any fans. Situate the tote where it doesn't have a lot of drafts on and things blowing on them. And like I said, you can get a heating pad at CVS. And you can get a heating pad at CVS and just plug it in and stick it under the tote, and then put the blanket on the inside of the tote. So the heating pad is not directly on the blanket. That's just a safety thing that we're doing here. Hi, baby. And he because he moves around so much, he tends to get the food up his nose a lot. But it's okay, just wipe it off. It's not ideal, but sometimes, you can't help everything. You just do the best you can. Okay, baby. Now, he's so jumpy and wily that I can't get his food down all in one go. You want to give him a little break in between suckles because he needs to breathe and he needs to get air. And if you're going to just down this stuff straight nonstop, when's he going to breathe? So I like to do it in about, for the 6 mils, 5 to 6 mils, I like to give him about 3 little breaks in between and let him get his stuff together. Let him get his stuff together and then come back to it. Okay, little guy. Jeez. That's what I need for retirement, I'm telling you. Sure. Don't mind my hair, bad hair day. Because some of us have had no sleep since Happy came to town. Okay, baby, come on. Let's get the rest of your milk. There you go. Come on. Get it in your mouth. Come on. Your baby. There you go. All right, he's suckling now, but he really likes to move around. So just do your best. You're feeding a moving target. It's not going to be easy. Mama never said life was easy, did she? No. So, especially when you have something that you've never taken care of before. I mean, we have raccoons out in the back, and I'm hoping to do some more videos of them out back for you, but right now my hands are full. So I hope you enjoy this video, and give me your comments down below, and I'd love to hear them. If you know how much to feed a baby raccoon, for what age he is, let me know. I would love to hear from you. And if I'm not doing everything perfect, well, I'm not a professional wildlife rehabber, am I? So, try to be kind. And I would appreciate any comments for this little guy to help us out. All right. Not sponsored or anything. Not yet. Anyway, but I'm just gonna rewrap him and try to get him to finish this one little drop, and then Mama can get some rest. Yeah, sure. Only got laundry and dishes to do. Don't forget, clean the little blankets every day if you can. Even if you gotta save on electric and you have to hand wash them in some vinegar and water and hang them outside to dry, well, that's what you have to do. That's fine, just as long as they're clean, because he will walk in his poo and pee if you don't. And yes, we have to talk about that on this video because that's real life. No, this isn't like the movies. Come on, baby. You're a good little fella. Yes, you are. So he's a boy, it's kind of not hard to figure out. If you lift them up, and he's got a little nub there, he's a boy, and if you don't, he's a girl. Okay, or she's a girl. And we have this other raccoon that ever since she was a baby, she would come up the front porch steps, and I would touch her on the nose and say, "Hi, little cutie." She just let me, and pretty soon pretty soon we started giving her some dog food out there. I know a lot of people say don't give them the dog food, don't give them, feed the wild animals, blah blah blah. But we kind of had to because there isn't a lot for them to eat around here. There's some fish in the swamp, and there's palm nuts, which they mostly eat. We're in a tropical climate, subtropical. So they eat a lot of palm nuts. They go up the palm trees and they eat palm nuts. And they when they're ripe, they get dark. See a lot of that in their poo outside in the yard, so I know that's what they eat. And I think they eat bugs too. I'm not sure. Unfortunately, one time we found a little baby raccoon, older juvenile teenage baby. He wasn't tiny. He was half grown. Found him and he died. And he was out on his own. And I guess got so hot. We live in a hot climate most of the year. He got so hot and dehydrated and starving and everything. And I hate to see that happen. That was nature. We had nothing to do with that. That was part of nature. He just showed up in the backyard, and the next day he was a goner, and it was so sad, so sad. So after that was when we started giving the other little coons some dog food, just to help them out a little bit. And we have a lot of a lot of situations like that might cause rats in your barn or your yard. So what you want to do is get yourself some humane traps and relocate those rats if you can out of your yard. We do have a lot of barn owls, and they take care of the rats too, so don't have to worry too much about that. But it is something to consider if you're leaving out food, that you are going to get vermin if you aren't careful to control the vermin. And I don't recommend doing anything cruel because you don't have to. You can find some nice woods and relocate them. Hopefully not in your neighbor's yard. Okay, there we go. He's all done. You see, he drank that whole thing. It's all finished. Yes, he did. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of those wet wipes. I go through a lot of these wet wipes, a lot. And I'm going to wipe his little face. Now, when you wipe his face, don't go upright because you're going to smush all the food into his nose. So you're going to wipe downwards. So I'm just going to gently wipe downwards and sideways on his mouth here. And sideways on his mouth. Hi, what you doing? Yeah. Sideways on his mouth to get all that food off. You want to get all that food off. Gently. Remember, it's a newborn baby, so, just about newborn. Gently, gently, gently. You're going to wipe his little, underneath his face, his chin, and, oh my gosh, he's so squirmy. All right, little guy. Yeah, you're a little squirmy, huh, aren't you? Okay. I'm gonna wash his little face. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. He's so cute. He is so cute. I love him. Aren't you, little pappy? Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna wipe his face. Now, normally I have him sitting down so his feet are secure and he feels secure. I don't like to keep him up dangling like this necessarily. I'm only doing this for the video, but I normally will have him sitting down. And then I take the cloth and I wipe his little hands because he gets food on his hands. And most raccoons, when they're grown, as far as I know, they have to get their hands wet in order to eat. So they'll wet their hands before they eat. I don't know why, but something about something about it helps them eat. So, and I'm going to do his little hind feet. Yeah. Now, when they get older, they need to be burped, and I only do a little tiny bit of gentle, just like this. Just a little bit of burping, just a tiny bit, very, very gently, just to make sure that he's upright and that the bubbles go up and not down, and that way it won't hurt his tummy. Yeah, there he is. Okay, his favorite spot in the whole wide world is up on my neck. Okay. Okay, now after you've fed him, or sometimes before he's fed, if he's in his tote for a while on his own and you notice poop on his blanket, then that means he's gone, and that's great. Wipe him with a clean wet cloth. Don't use the one you used for his mouth because it has food on it and you don't want bacteria on him. So you're going to get a fresh wet wipe, and after you feed him, you're going to get his little behind wiped. If it's dirty first when you pick him up out of the tote, and then after he eats, you're going to mimic the mother, and what she does is lick them all over the place, and she'll lick their tummies, which if you rub his tummy, he gets a little calm and it helps digestion. You just real gently rub their tummies. Gently, I mean super gently. Like if you're a guy, you're going to do it 10 times softer than what you think is gentle. Okay? There we go. Just gently rub his little tummy and get things moving. And then you want to get a wet wipe, and you're going to wipe his little, you know what, his nub. You're going to wipe his little nub very gently. Gently, gently. You don't want his skin all chafed. No, you wouldn't like it if you had some big old Brillo pad on you. Gently, gently wipe his little... Oh, there he goes. He's piddling. See? He's piddling. Now, the mama, she would lick that normally to stimulate them to go potty. There it is. Proof is in the pudding. A little pee. I'm going to get another wipe. And I'm gonna wipe his bottom very gently. I'm gonna wipe it side to side just a little bit, because the mama would do this normally. I know it's gross, but mama would do this for the baby. Okay, mama would do this, and she would and that would stimulate him to go potty. If you do not do this step, a baby werewolf can possibly die or get backed up or who knows what. Okay, so technical difficulty. All right, little fella. Yeah. Okay, so after he eats, what I do is I wipe his little bottom with a clean cloth, that just very gently. Also, when he comes out of the tote, clean him off like this, very gently. Just clean off his fur next to his bottom and his tail if needed, because he's probably going to have something on there from the night before. And then this will help make him go. And then what I do is I put him down in the tote on the blanket, and then he'll usually go potty now after that. You don't have to do it for very long. Just, a couple little wipes is good. And if he doesn't go right away, it's okay. He will go in a little bit. And if he doesn't, just keep an eye out on his blanket when you get him out, let him go to sleep. When he gets up, see if there's any poo on the blanket. If there is, thumbs up. You're good. All right, there he is. There he is. His favorite spot is up here climbing on the back of my neck. Make sure you hold him. Make sure you hold him really gently but firmly. So you're always have your hand on his back if he's climbing up like this on your shoulder, because they'll go to the back of your hair and play around. You don't want him falling off the back of your neck. Safety, safety, safety. Oh, I think I'm allergic to him. Making my nose itch. Anyway, this is the little guy. Happy. Say hi, Happy. Hi, Happy. Hi, baby. What you doing? Okay, so then when I'm done feeding him, I like to give him what the mama would do would be to look him all over and give him attention and play. So I rub his little back just very gently, just to let him know that mama's here and he's not, scared. It's very important, affection. People don't realize how important it is, but it is, whether you think so or not. Wine and roses are great, but nothing beats affection. So that's what this little guy said. That was his quote of the day, because he's a little talker. Okay, so I found out when I rub his head like this, just back and forth, it puts them sort of to sleep. See, he gets all calm. And when I rub his tummy, he gets calm. But if I go like this on his back, he gets hyper. Yeah, see? He starts suckling it like crazy and listen, he's making noises. He's sucking on his own stomach because he didn't have my neck. He's like he's a vampire werewolf. He's a little vampire werewolf. But when you rub them on the back like that, they go crazy. He just goes crazy. And then in the middle is sort of his happy spot where he's in between calm and hyper. But if you do rub him on his little spot here, that'll usually make him possibly go to the bathroom. And if not, he gets so super hyperactive and wants to suck you up on your neck and climb up all on your shoulders and everything like that. But don't do it too long because it'll overstimulate him to the point of no return. And I don't think that's too good for them. They're babies and they need their rest. So you want to eventually get him to where he's gonna take a nap soon and nod off and sleep like a good little baby does. Oh, okay. I love. All right, see, he's doing it now. He's starting to nod off. His little head go down. He likes to sniff a lot. So if you can get a little stuffed animal and put it in the tote and the blankets with him in the tote, try to do that. Get a little stuffed animal that's furry. Try to get a little furry one. Make sure there's no beaded eyes on it. It has to have stitched eyes or remove the eyes. And nose, make sure the nose is stitched. No plastic noses. Make sure you take all the tags and anything like that off. And make sure the stuffing is not styrofoam. Make sure it's just natural material, foam or something like straw. Because you don't want him to eat the eyes. And they probably will. Look, he's going in a little ball. That means he's gonna get ready for his nap. He's getting ready for his little nap. There he is. Little fella. He's putting his little head down like that. When he puts his little head down like that, it means he's sort of nodding off. He also puts his head down when he's running around, and he sniffs the floor. I put him on a little blanket down on the floor, and he sniffs the floor. And I just, watch him, make sure he's not eating anything when he's doing it. And I ordered a little kitten playpen on Amazon And it's got a zipper top, so when he gets bigger, he won't climb out right away. And it's got a puppy pee pad on the bottom, so I can wash that. And it has a screened window, so he can look out, but he can't climb out, and a zipper door and everything. So that'll be coming in the mail soon. And yeah, let him, let him run around a little bit. Don't have to just feed him and put him back, because they like attention. They do. Even werewolves need attention. Yeah, little fella. Even werewolves need attention. Baby ones. So there he is. He's all snoozy now. So when he runs around, he's wobbly still. So you can expect him to be wobbly, not to the point where he's keeling over and there's something wrong with him, but they're wobbly. They got a big heavy head compared to their body to hold up, and so because they're a baby, they're going to be a little wobbly running around. They're not going to be acting like a 3-month-old raccoon will yet. Remember, they're just little babies still. So they'll be a little wobbly at first. And when they get real happy and you scratch their backs when they're running around on the floor or turning them over and playing with his little feet, they shake their heads from side to side, just like, They shake their heads, and that means they're happy, because I've seen the grown coons do that. And that coon that I said I touched her on the nose every time she came up to the steps, she was real friendly, and ever since she's been our little regular coon that comes up to the porch, and she's had 2 litters now. This baby's not hers. It's one of her baby's or something grown up, because she's had quite a few litters over the last couple of years, and we've named her Fatty, because when she's pregnant and she's a roly-poly, she's so fat. She's just like a little watermelon on legs. And she just came up yesterday with 6 kids. 6. She never had 6 before. She's always had 3. And now she has her hands full. She's got 6 little babies to watch out for. And they're old enough to run around and explore, but not old enough to leave mama yet. But she would be coming up to the porch, and she would sit on the front steps just exhausted the last few weeks. And we were kind of wondering why, because she was healthy. She's eating her food. She's having her fresh water every day. We give her water in one of those old roasting pans that we got at where did I get? It was at a thrift store. Big old roasting pan for a couple bucks. Use that for the water dish outside and give them fresh water with the hose every day. She came up, ate, had her water, and then on the hot days she would lay in the water dish and cool off. And we just thought she was hot, but no, she was pregnant and nursing babies, I should say. So a lot of babies, 6 babies is a lot for a coon. I mean, the max they ever have is, I think, 7, and it's normal to have 3 or 4. I think this little mama, because she's a maybe not even a year old or so, she's a small, I think the mama was a small coon. I think so. She may have only had this 1 baby, but if she has 2 more, I'm hoping she'll come around with them when they're old enough to run around and walk and everything, and they'll come up to the front and visit. They'll come up to the front porch with her, and then that's when I'm hoping to reintroduce him to the wild, and eventually he can play with his siblings if he has any, if she has other babies that I don't know about yet. But I don't know until she comes up, and we're gonna hopefully slowly wean him back into the coon crowd out front, because we do have regulars. They always come around. They know where the dog food is. They know where their water is. They talk to us. They shake their little heads that they're all happy when they see us and everything. None of them have distemper. None of them have rabies. We don't stick our hands in their faces and take chances. We're very safe, and just sort of feed them from afar, except for Fatty, because we can actually pet her. Because, like I said, when she was younger, she would come up and I touched her nose every day. And now she's at the point where we can pet her, but only on her back and only a little bit at a time. But I would not recommend going up to a strange coon ever, ever, and petting it, because you'll be sorry. So they got the fangs on them, like, woo, vampire. And so there it is. That's the little guy. He's taking his nap, and I'm going to put him back in his little heated pad tote. Make sure he doesn't get too hot or too cold, and he'll be good for the next 3 hours until we do it all over again and again and again. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. It's my very first video, and that's why the lighting is not great, because the sun is coming in the window, but hopefully you can see him. Yep, there he is, little baby werewolf, fast asleep. And hopefully you enjoyed the video, and come back again. I'm hoping to make some more on all kinds of things around the homestead. Anything from fixing things to chickens and how to help care for chickens. Little quirky things about chickens. Hope you learned something today and enjoyed it. And be kind to animals. Have a great day. See ya.